How's it going, guys, and welcome to Gaming Evolved. I'm Shifty Cow, and in today's video we have another episode of Forumfield for you guys. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, be sure to smack that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. But anyways, guys, let's just hop right into the video. So just about all of today's topics are going to be talking about the fall patch and the recent changes brought upon by DICE. So the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the Phantom Bow. So this guy says, how do you guys feel about the bow being a free unlock even for non-premium members, despite it requiring days, if not weeks of work to unlock before? Personally, I wish the people who unlocked it the right way would get some kind of cool camo or special cosmetic item so players can tell who unlocked it legit or not. Now, this is easily one of the most controversial changes with the fall patch, and it's definitely for a good reason, because I can imagine what it's like for someone who just unlocked the Phantom Bow, who went through all the assignments, spent like a couple hours searching for the dog tag, to have that experience of unlocking it and then see that everyone else just got it for free. Like, that can be incredibly frustrating, but personally with the bow, I think it's a lot more about the journey than actually getting the Phantom Bow, because the Phantom Bow itself is pretty bad. Like, that's actually an understatement. It is horrible. It's a novelty, and it's really not designed to be so good that you can go on kill streaks with it, or even just go positive, in fact. Like, it's really hard to get some good kill streaks with the bow, and so I think it's actually not that bad that they gave it out to everyone. It can definitely be annoying, especially if you just recently unlocked it, but realistically, it's been out for almost a year now, because it was way back in like November or whatever when Final Stand came out. And so personally, I really don't care that everyone else got it for free. But the one thing that I thought was really cool is the addition of a special cosmetic item or a camo, because right now, the only way you can actually differentiate between a person who unlocked the bow legit and someone who just unlocked it from the box is a Phantom Operative dog tag, which admittedly is probably the coolest dog tags out of all the choices, but really no one tends to look at the actual dog tags. Maybe if you knife someone and you take them, you see like, oh cool, they got the operative dog tag, but other than that, you really don't see them. So it'd be awesome to have them implement some kind of awesome like black and blue camo that's only for people who unlocked it legit, and that way the people who unlocked it would be happy, the people who didn't unlock it legit would be happy because they still have it, and it would just kind of be better to differentiate between who spent how much time unlocking something. But that's just kind of my idea. But moving on to the next topic, we're going to be talking about C4. Now, I'm going to save you guys like 10 minutes and just talk about how this guy ranted off an entire essay on Battlelog, talking about how upset he was over the changes to C4. So if you haven't heard already, they've reduced its damage from 50 to 40 against tanks and LAVs. So instead of taking 2 C4, it's going to take 3. They've reduced its throwing distance, they've reduced its blast radius, and they've also increased the time it takes to resupply C4, which personally I haven't really noticed because it's so small. But anyways, it's just kind of a flat nerf across the board, and I really don't understand why they did it. At times, C4 can definitely be annoying, and I can understand where people are coming from if they're playing Rush and people are just throwing C4 on objectives, but even then, it really doesn't change anything. It's still going to kill you inside a moderate range, and the only thing that it's really affected primarily is if you're trying to destroy a tank or an LAV with C4, which personally is kind of what I think you would use it for. But anyways, if you go into this, the only two classes that have it are the support class and the Recon class, which over the last couple of patches have just kind of been pooped on in short terms. But anyways, the support class has lost a lot of accuracy at range and gotten a lot more, I guess, muzzle bloom or whatever you would call it. Basically just more spread on all the LMGs, so those are no longer going to be quite as good at longer range like they used to be. And then the Recon class, of course, got the Marksman Bonus removed, which we'll talk about that in the next topic. But aside from those nerfs, they've also added in the C4 nerf, which directly affects them and their ability to take out vehicles. So the only thing I can think of is that DICE thinks this is going with their kind of motto of making more independent roles. So if you want to take out a vehicle, you have to go as engineer. If you want to go hard and kill infantry and be a team player, you're going to go assault. If you want to do poorly and not get as many points, you're going to run recon. Like, it's just kind of like they're setting certain roles for certain gadgets or certain classes, which personally I don't really agree with, but I can kind of see why they're doing this. But anyways, I think this should just be kind of switched back, and hopefully they realize that 3C4 is just kind of ridiculous for taking out one tank. So moving on to the next topic, we're going to be talking about the sniper rifles. So this guy says, sniper rifles are good for what again? They're not good for PTFOing, no marksman bonus for doing long range, especially combined with the above. Defensive perk is default and renders the rifle useless in CQB. What are they good for? So I have to say that this is probably one of my favorite classes, despite all the problems with it, despite the annoyances of the defensive perk and nerfs and the marksman bonus being removed. It's still my favorite class solely because it is so fulfilling to get headshots shots with. It's really enjoyable when you're able to get a couple quick scopes or when you take some people out at range, and although it's definitely annoying not to get as many points, I still just love it to death. And let's just kind of talk about some of the problems. So first of all, you can't just quick scope people now because of the defensive perk, and that's default. So people have it on and they don't even know they have it on. So unless you're getting insanely lucky or you're just MLG Pro, you're not going to be able to get, close range quick scopes and have those be a reliable way of getting killed. So you're not going to be able to capture the objectives the same as all the other classes will, unless you're going with like a carbine or you're just, tossing away your sniper rifle. So what I think of when I think of sniper rifle is someone who's helping support the team while they're capturing objectives. So they're shooting the people who are behind cover, and they're just kind of maybe 100, 200 meters away picking people off from objectives. But no, you're not going to be getting your Marksman bonus, so you're still going to end up at the bottom of the scoreboard. And finally, we have the people that DICE intended to get rid of, and these are of course the people who camp on mountains and really just get a couple of kills but end up like halfway on the scoreboard. So it definitely got rid of a lot of those guys, but if you also think about it, they're probably not doing it for the points. They're doing it because it was an amazing shot and it was really cool to record, and they just wanted to see if they could actually do it. So there's still going to be a pretty decent amount of people still doing this tactic, solely because it's not about the points to them, otherwise they'd be down on the objective grinding away. And it mostly just hurts people who were playing the objective and were trying to actually, help their team playing as a recon, because they're going to be a lot more concerned about getting more points if they're actually worrying about helping their team win. So really, I think this mostly hurts recons who are actually trying to play the objective and win the game, because they're going to be a lot more concerned about their score, and chances are they're just going to switch over to assault, and instead of being able to spot people with an MAV or take out a couple of people at range who are camping out an objective with like bipods and stuff like that, you're just going to have to find a different way to do it, because there's going to be a couple less recons playing each match, which can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. But anyways guys, what do you guys think? Be sure to leave your comments down in the comments section below telling me about the defensive perk and how much you love that, or the marksman bonuses and the C4 changes, all those things. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like, but until next time guys, stay buttery.